I am Supreme, and this is message number 20 of Astro Oracle Freestyles, where I conduct collective messages for the chosen. You will know when you are chosen because my messages will resonate with your soul. We are chosen because we are here to prove to the world that God is real. Your spirit, your energy, the universe is real. Being chosen is not a walk in the park, because we are the examples of what happens to the human soul when we are not aligned. And we are also the example of what happens to the human soul when we are aligned. So you want to be a positive example. I'm going to use this message as well. The world government card came out. I'm going to start the message with the world government. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and that's going to formulate the story for the chosen today. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop these investigations. And also, speaking of the world government, right now we are in a government shutdown. Today is October the 1st, 2025. So we're in a so-called government shutdown. Of course, Trump is not getting his... Look, this is another card that came out. 1, 2, 3, count your blessings. That's what this card is for, the count your blessings. So apparently Trump is not having his way. The metal detector came out. So that completes the story. This is what we're going to formulate the story, today's story on, because these cards just popped its way out. So let's use that. All right. So like I said, we are in a government shutdown right now because apparently Trump is not having his way. So, you start pulling the plugs and shit when you're in charge. And, I guess you can do that when you're in authority. However, us as the chosen, okay, and the message that we bring into the world is coming from everything above Trump and above the worldly governments. We go over everybody's head in the 3D realm, okay, and we pull down forces from the spirit realm, and we dominate this 3D realm through those forces. And this is why I do my reading, okay? Now, in order to weather the things that the world government is taking us through, because this pretty much is this can be your friend, but it's also your enemy. But either way it goes, you cannot run from the world government. So you might as well learn how to weather the world government. And how you weather the world government is by counting your blessings. The reason why it's important to count your blessings is because you are building up the frequency that's necessary for the universe to support you in your current situation. Okay, you have to be able to tap into the energies that are necessary for your support. And focusing on what the world government is taking us through is not going to tap you into those energies. It's going to actually tap you into what the world government wants from you. This is all about energy siphoning, okay? Because even the government knows that God is real, okay? The power that lives in you is real. So the government wants to control that power for their purpose, which is why they are in authority. They are in authority through energy siphoning. So, taking your energy back, so that way no weapon formed against you from this government will prosper, you have to first tap back into who you are and how God works, which is the universe. And how you do that is counting your blessings. Count your blessings. Count every single reason why you are grateful. Count the things that you know, that you know, that you know, that you was not going to make it out of that situation if it wasn't for your God. Your God is your energy. Your God is your faith, your thoughts, your beliefs, everything that you know you are in spite of this world. That is the energy that saved you. That is your energy signature. And when you have a strong energy signature, you will always be protected. Because the way that you think, you have such a clear signal, because we're like antennas. You have such a clear signal that you receive more downloads than anybody in your family, in your community, in your circle, at your job. You know, you receive good ideas. You always know what to say. You know a way out of every situation. And people sometimes can get jealous because they feel like, well, damn, why didn't I think of that? That's because your signal is different from everybody else's. Your signal is going to always get you out of situations and circumstances that this world government seems to land everybody in. Okay? But it's all about signal. Okay? So counting your blessings is a ritual. You want to write these down and you want to read these to yourself every day. Okay? So that way you can tap into that energy every day. That's how you make yourself present. Remember in school, they used to call our names? If you know your name, then you need to count your blessings. Your name is written in your blessings. When you look back over your life, you need to write down every reason why you need to be grateful, because that's the energy that is going to take to tap you into the universe. Now, tapped into the universe. The universe is like a metal detector. Okay? Now, we are the men and women of God, the universe. A man of God is nothing more than a security guard standing next to a metal detector. Okay? The security is not the metal detector. However, the security is responsible for searching you. So this is our role as men and women of God, the universe, men and women of spirit. Okay? And I speak the way I speak because I'm speaking not just to the spiritually conscious community. I'm also speaking to Christians, Catholics, Muslims, and people who have now come to the awareness that religion is a setup. Okay? And that awareness has brought you to my channel. It has tapped you into my energy signature. The very thing that I am doing sends an energy signature out into the universe. And you picked up on that when you became aware of this religious setup. And so you need guidance. And that's why you landed here at this reading. Okay? So I am the security. Okay, I am the man, the true man of God. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Buddhist. Okay, but I understand. I am all of that. But I don't belong to those specific groups. I don't label myself as none of those things. And everything that a Catholic tells me, or that a Muslim tells me, or that a Christian tells me, I respond with the same agreements. I just understand what they're telling me more than they do. When they tell me, well, God is real, I know what that means, and I could explain it to you better than you can explain it to me. You know, I know God is real, and because I know what God is, just like when they explain the coming. Oh, Christ is coming. I know. But a lot of them don't understand what that coming is, and I do. So let's talk about it. I love talking to Catholics. I love talking to Christians, and I love talking to Muslims. And we have a very fulfilling conversation, a very successful exchange. Okay? Because it's all going to boil down to the spirit. Okay? My greatest conversation is when Christians can tell me, how is your Messiah coming to save you? What does that look like? Is he coming off the plane? Is he going to get off the bus? Or like, is flight coming in and we're all going to be gathered around to see it? Or don't tell me he's going to come out the clouds and the sky is going to crack. Let's be realistic. So, is he coming on a train? That's realistic. You know, coming off the plane, that's realistic. I just want to know how that's going to play out. Is there somewhere we're supposed to be when he gets here? Like, let me know because I really want to go. I really want to be there. You know, do you know they can't explain that? Because it's all going to boil down to a very, very fruitful conversation. And I'm not being funny. I'm being truthful. It's just that it's funny because it's making fun of the lies that we were told. It's making fun of how serious we believe in these lies. I really want to know how he's coming in your book. And then I'm going to tell you how I know he's coming in my book. But I first want to hear how because they feel more of a conviction than we are. I understand the coming and I'm comfortable because I know it's true. So I let them go first. So I'm the security guard. We are the security guards at this metal detector. So when people are beeping, when people's life is showing up in shambles, sickness, poverty, death, chaos, drama, all of that, it's our job to search them. You're chosen. That's why you're here. It is our job to search them because we understand the spiritual world of this metal detector. The metal detector is God. It is the spirit world. When you show up in the spirit world, we live in it. This universe is one huge detector. The metal is a metaphor for what's going on in you, your thoughts, your emotions. That's all detected. Everything is detected. So if these things are not right and they are not in alignment with who you are, because there's a reason why you're beeping. There's a reason why your life is in shambles. It's not the same reason why your neighbor's life is in shambles. We're here to search why you're beeping. This is our job. And as long as you are getting on your job, no weapon formed against this character right here is going to prosper in your life. And always know that. We're here to help people get their minds right, get their hearts right, give them somebody to talk to, because we understand people. Give them somebody to talk to, because once we respond to what we understand, we know how to heal their thought patterns. We know how to heal their emotions. If you are chosen, this is what we do. We understand how to do this. So you got to know you are like that security, standing next to the metal detector. People walking through, some of them beep and some of them don't. But for those that are beeping and whose life is showing up in shambles, now they have to be searched by security. And this is what brought you here. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my collective messages. And y'all be blessed. If you'd like a personal reading with me, reach out to me in my email as well. It's in the link below.